A collector buys a few shoeboxes of cards off of a student on Facebook Marketplace, and he pays him $100. Inside, he finds an ultra rare Mike Trout rookie card that in the past has sold for as much as $66,000. Does the collector now have an obligation to return the cards or pay more to the person he bought them from? We'll debate now. Hello, sports card investors, and welcome to another episode of Cards on the Table. Teapot Doug, I'm glad to be back. I'm feeling good today. I'm looking good.
You aren't.
I'm feeling stylish. It's a big day today. Do you know why?
I don't care.
Right after this show ends, I'm going to meet DJ Lagway, the future quarterback of the University of Florida, the future #1 draft pick, the future NFL star, the future Hall of Famer, the future multinational championship winner for the Gators.
Maybe win a few games first. I don't know.
Put some pressure on the guy.
I have, by the way, all of his superfractors,
Kid's got like a 50% completion percentage.
All the things. I'm going to go show him all of his cards. So I'm excited about that.
That's cool. That is cool. I was going to make fun of you, but I'm not going
to
anymore.
Well, thank you.
I'm glad you.
Let's had to class it up for DJ, but that is not here. It's not what we're supposed to be talking about today. We're supposed to be talking about this crazy story about this crazy card that was found on Facebook Marketplace. I'm super curious to get your opinion on what happened here. So this is a hobbyist named Alex, and he recently posted in a Facebook group this story. And the story was that he was on Facebook Marketplace and he was looking for card collections to buy. A student in his area posted to Facebook Marketplace that he had a bunch of cards for sale that were in boxes, a bunch of random assorted cards that he had collected years ago, and he was looking just to get rid of them. And he put them all for sale on Facebook Marketplace, $100 to take this entire lot of boxes of cards. So Alex reaches out to him and says, I'll buy them. Alex buys them. Alex gets home. Alex starts going through the cardboard boxes of cards, and inside is a 2011 Topps Mike Trout rookie card. But not just any rookie card. It's an ultra rare parallel of that 2011 Topps Mike Trout rookie card. In fact, it is the black 60 years of collecting refractor. This is numbered to 60. It's a very rare one. It's one that you only see now come up for sale maybe once or twice a year. The last time this card sold in SGC 9 condition, it sold for $17,400. And this card sold in BGS 9.5 condition a couple of years ago for $66,000. Now, the card in the box was raw, but obviously even in raw condition has a value that is well north of $10,000. So we're talking about a big time card, and it looks good from what I saw of the image of it. So if it goes and gets graded and grades well, you could have a card that is worth tens of thousands of dollars. So now we have the dilemma at hand. Should Alex do something about this? Does Alex have an obligation to return the card? Does he have an obligation to alert the person he purchased this from? Does he have an obligation to pay that person some money, some cut of maybe the sale of this card if he were to now go out and sell it? It's kind of a sticky situation. Some probably think a deal is a deal. Others probably think he owes it to this kid. He somehow took advantage of the kid in this situation. Teapot, is this fair game or not? What's your thoughts on this?
If he had spent $100 on the cards and then gone through all of them and realized that they weren't worth anything, should he have been given his money back by the kid he agreed to buy them for $100?
That's a fair question.
If somebody comes into Cards HQ, Jeff, and buys a box and they hit a $100,000 card out of that box, do you ask for a cut of that $100,000 card after they open the box?
This is a little bit of a different situation.
If they get absolutely cooked on the box, do you give them a refund? No.
Of course not.
When people buy big lots of cards on public auction, from storage lockers, from estate sales, and then they discover that there's value in those beyond what they paid? Do they go offer a portion of that back to those different locations and establishments? When people find stale listings on eBay or ComC or in a card shop like Cards HQ that haven't been updated for price that has recently shot up for a hot player on the top 5, do they go say, I'd like to purchase this card, but I want to make sure it's at fair market value, or do they go just smash the bin button and then flip it on ComC or some of those websites? Last year, Ryan from Card Collector 2 did a short on YouTube interviewing a little kid who I think it was at the National, who had found like a downtown in a box, in a value box.
In a value bin.
With some crazy
He found
card.
a 1-of-1.
A 1-of-1.
It
was a 1-of-1.
Yeah, it was like
a $250 1-of-1 in a value bin. And the dealer honored it. He didn't go like, oh, give me that back. You know, no, you got to honor it. Like it's a sale. It's a sale that you did. So there's two different things at play here. One is a question of moral obligation, of which he has absolutely none. There's no moral obligation to need to give another portion of the money. It was a sale that was agreed upon by both parties. And moving on, there wasn't any fraud. He didn't deceive the person. There was no deception involved. The bigger question is, it would be a question of charity or generosity. And what does his heart tell him to do? And does he feel like he wants to be a kind person and to go back and say, I think you should have a portion of this. You obviously didn't know what you were selling, and I would love to do that. And if he does that, Alex, that would be an incredible gesture. Maybe if you're in a position to do that and that you're helping a young college student, more power to you. But there's no moral obligation and certainly no legal obligation to do that.
Interesting. Okay. Mr. Doug, do you agree with Teapot's take, or do you have a different view on this?
I think generally I agree with this, right? On the surface, as this is presented, there's no obligation for the buyer in this case to compensate the seller. I changed my mind a little bit if he was able to see the cards. If he looked, if this person was able to show him some of the cards and he knew that he was about to get a steal, then that feels a little worse to me, like he knows that he's about to take advantage of somebody. But at the same time, that seller had every opportunity to do the research, to find out what those cards are worth, right? And at some point, they have to be held responsible for that, having that opportunity to do the legwork or finding someone who could tell them, right? So, they made a decision to sell this for $100 and not do that research and not figure out what they were actually selling. So, I can see both sides of it. I'm probably a little softer on that considering what this outcome is, right? When you're going to be able to make that much money off a $100 investment. But if he didn't see these cards, if he had no idea what he was buying and he assumed all of the risk here, then, I probably, great job. Congratulations on the score. I'm interested to hear what you're going to say, because I know, and I don't know that you're going to say this, but I know for a fact last year at the National, you bought a card from somebody. It was a 1-of-1 card, so there was no comps. You guys agreed on a price. You sold that card, and it sold for way more than you thought it would, and way more than the person who sold it to you. And you offered them money.
I did do that. I felt a little bit icky with how much more money I made on
and
that card.
And that's a way softer situation than this. You definitely had no obligation there, and I know that you did that. So I'm curious to hear how you approach this.
What's interesting to me about this, I feel like the spread of dollars matters. Yeah. And I can understand those who say, no, it doesn't matter. It's a deal's a deal. If it was, he bought the box of cards for $100. If he found a $500 card inside, I would have no problem with it. And I would be like, you win, keep the card. If he found a $1,000 card inside, I would probably still be like, okay, good for him. He found a $1,000 card inside. But he found a card inside that's worth over $10,000 easily and could be worth tens of thousands of dollars, might be worth $60,000. That is such an extreme that is where I'm just like, Alex, you got to do something about this. Alex, you can't just keep this. You can't just keep the card. You can't just cash in on the card and get all that money and just say, look at me, I bought a $100 box on Facebook Marketplace, wasn't I smart? Like, it's too much. It's too much of a difference. Is it fair to think that spread matters, or is it just black and white?
I kind of agree with you on the spread.
I think that's what plays at your heart in the matter.
Yes.
That's what makes it to where you say, I want to do what feels like the right thing here, which would be an act of kindness. But there's the
That's
spread
different from obligation.
The spread does not impact the obligation or the moral laicity of it. It just impacts how you generally feel about it. You're like, man, I stumbled on this. We've covered two different stories in the last couple of years. One where somebody found cards behind a wall, and the one obviously they found all those crazy vintage cards up in a garage or something, right? And if you bought that house, you bought the house, and then you're cleaning out in a barn or something, and you find all these old 52 Topps cards. you don't have an obligation to call up. Like possession is 9/10. You don't have to call the old owners of the house and be like, I just wanted to let you know we found $300,000 worth of cards.
Cards that are probably worth more than the house you just sold me.
You just sold me. You could.
Yeah.
You could. You could go, hey, were these your grandpa's or your dad's or somebody? Like, we want to split this with you. We don't feel right about it. And if you do that, that's probably a big testament to character. That says something about how you operate. But there's no obligation to do it, I think, is what's really important.
It's it's an interesting thing. I'm actually really curious to see what the audience out there says, because I can understand all the different viewpoints on this. What do you think? Let us know in the YouTube comments your thoughts on what Alex should do or should not do in this situation. All right, guys, let's jump to opening up some slab packs. I want to open up. It's been a couple of weeks. I'm going to go first. It's been a couple of weeks since I've gotten to rip an Arena Club slab pack. I'm going to rip an Emerald football pack here. These are live right now on Arena Club's website.
I thought it was Tebow for a second.
That's a 1/1.
I got a 1/1.
A black finite 1/1.
Noah Fant 2021 Prism Black Finite 1/1 in a PSA 10. That's pretty cool.
Those have a market no matter what.
Yeah,
100%.
1/1s are legit.
Yes,
Prism
100%.
Black.
Some Hawkeye fan just went crazy.
That's actually a pretty sweet card. If you are a Noah Fant fan, hit me up with a trade offer on Arena Club, because this is going to be in my Arena Club showroom. Cool. Let's see what you got, Teapot. Let's go to Teapot
I did
next.
Emerald football as well.
Okay. All right. It's football's on the mind.
Look at this guy.
Oh, Arch
Manning.
Okay.
PSA 10 Arch Manning.
That could
nice.
be
Throwback.
That's good fodder at the National.
I just saw him on ESPN in the break room right before.
That could change a lot in the next few months.
For good or for good.
Up or down, up or down.
Yeah.
We'll see. He plays the Gators first weekend of October, so I'd sell before that. That's my recommendation.
Okay, here we
sell before that. All right, who we got next?
Basketball. Yeah, I'm going basketball.
Basketball Emerald?
That's LeBron James rookie.
James.
Okay, PSA 8. I got really excited for a second. PSA 8, but still, it's LeBron rookie.
Yeah, it's nice. You can't go wrong with a Topps LeBron James rookie. That card is going to do well for you no matter what. Awesome, guys. Well, hey, if you want to get your own slab packs from Arena Club, just download the Arena Club app or go to arenaclub.com and then use promo code SEI20, because that's going to get you 20% off your first slab pack purchase, and that's actually makes these things a really, really nice deal. So once again, promo code SCI20 for 20% off your first purchase at Arena Club. All right, gentlemen, let's jump into the next story. We've got probably the two biggest Caitlyn Clark cards of all time, which are now at auction with two different auction houses, which is kind of interesting, right? So both Fanatics Collect and Golden are auctioning off 1/1 Caitlyn rookie patch auto cards. One of them is a flawless card, and these came out of those rookie royalty boxes that were kind of all the debate here a few weeks ago.
These were the chases.
These were the chases, right? So one of them's a flawless card. It's her 1/1 flawless rookie patch auto. Logo Woman. It's a Logo Woman. That one's got an inscription, 769 points and counting. The other is her 1/1 immaculate Logo Woman with the inscription Rookie of the Year 24. Both auctions have more than a week left to go, and both auctions have already passed $200,000 each for these cards. The all-time record for a Caitlyn Clark card is $366,000, which was set by her 2024 Prism Gold Vinyl 1/1. So, are these auctions going to set the record? And do we think that this is the start of future years of WNBA product having these huge chases, these multi-$100,000 cards, or is this just this one-off with Caitlyn Clark and it doesn't actually indicate a shift in the market at all? What do you think, Teapot?
Caitlyn Clark has single-handedly changed the hobby for women's sports forever. I think forever. There's no going back to like how it was before, where these products were an afterthought. There's hype now into other players, including all-time WNBA greats and other sports in general. Women's tennis, gymnastics, all kinds of things are getting more and more attention. And I think for now, her market is here to stay. Clark, she kind of reminds me, like, with her market right now, of where like Luka's market has been, just like, and what happened with the hobby in general in 2018. And even though he has yet to win an MVP or a championship, he's still one of the top players in the NBA, and his market is still, at a premium. So I see that. I was shocked and appalled recently when it was revealed that her Prism rookie card did not make the vote when Adam Gray has been incrementally revealing his top 25 most iconic cards of the 21st century. It was like number 36 or something. That shocked me. I had it at, I think, like 19 or 21 on my list. There's a lot of hype here as well, however. And it's still early in her WNBA career. She obviously had a really good career at Iowa, but it's still very young, looks very promising. Nevertheless, I think she's still going to just have like this very diehard collector segment, no matter what happens for the long term. I'm not saying all her cards right now will retain the price they have if she doesn't like solidify herself as one of the greatest ever to play in the WNBA, but there's a lot of hype here. The interesting thing with these two cards, this is the first time that I can recall ever seeing a flawless rookie card that is not only not game worn, but actually says on the back, not from any specific player, game, or event.
Yeah.
And it's on both cards. I thought it would be on the Immaculate card, but not on the Flawless. Both of them are literally not logo mans from Caitlyn Clark. They're just inserted into the card, much like the Wemby card Immaculate that we saw months back go for over $500,000. So the inscriptions are cool. The autos are obviously great. I'd rather have the gold vinyl Prism rookie card because it's a true like iconic one of one. These ones were out of a brand new Chronicles style product that aren't actually logo man. So I wouldn't have the same interest for playing in that ball court as I did with the Prism.
What do you think, Doug?
Well, I think both things can kind of be true, right? I think that Caitlyn Clark can carry this product on the high end of things, but I also think it's created a whole new standard that doesn't need Caitlyn Clark to keep going. I think you'll see upcoming players like Paige Beckers or eventually Juju Watkins carry a lot of hype, and it will be completely separate from whatever Caitlyn does with her career. I mean, one thing that we'll be able to see pretty soon is how Caitlyn's performance is going to dictate the entire women's card market, right? She's not having a very good year, if we're being honest. She just suffered her third injury last night or a couple nights ago. She might be missing more time. She might be missing the All-Star game that's in Indianapolis. She's shooting 1 for 32 from 3 on the road. Her team is winning more games without her. So if there's going to be a Clark dip, it's going to happen right now, and we're going to see how it impacts other players as well. So we're going to know, is this all Caitlyn Clark, or can it survive without her? And we'll see that pretty soon. And because of that, what's kind of going on with her this current season and right now, I'm not sure that these cards set the record. Normally I would say yes. But I think there's an argument that if you look at what's going on right now, 3 straight injuries that are going to cause her to miss games, and they're related injuries, shooting performance, teams better without her, all that stuff I just said, if there's ever going to be a dip, if there's a time where her market is going to suffer, it's right now, I think. So,
interesting.
It's just interesting to look at. I don't predict it necessarily, but if it happens, it's now.
The Flawless has to outsell the Immaculate, right?
I hope so.
I would think,
You would think so? Yeah,
I would think so.
I would think so.
I would think so.
I think the Flawless breaks the record. I think the Flawless sets the all-time record.
If I had to
I think
pick
the
a card, it
Immaculate
would be
maybe
the
falls
Flawless.
short.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to watch. We got a couple more great stories to get to. I want to give a shout out to BCW guys. They just sent us these showcases. Of course, we sell a ton of these in Cards HQ. We got them on our shelves. Baseball showcases, mini helmet showcases. My favorite thing about these is the UV protection. So they're crystal clear, really easy to display. You know, they got full-size football showcases. They got basketball showcases. Any type of sports memorabilia they've got a showcase for. But they're all super clear, and they've got the UV protection. That's a big deal, especially they're autographed, which most of these things are. Get UV protected showcases, everybody. That's super important. And if you want to get one of these BCW showcases, go to bcwsupplies.com, and if you use promo code SCI, you get 10% off your entire purchase of all card supplies and memorabilia supplies at bcwsupplies.com. That's promo code SCI. Okay, let's jump into our next story, guys. Sports card vending machines are starting to appear everywhere. So Houston's George Bush Intercontinental Airport, which is a big airport. Tons of traffic goes through that George Bush Airport in Houston every year. They've just installed card vending machines. These are fan stand machines. They sell both sports cards and Pokemon cards, packs, blasters, and mega boxes. They're kind of big format machines. And they've already been installed in the Miami airport. They've already been installed in the Las Vegas airport. They are also on 4 Royal Caribbean cruise ships. So these things are starting to get in a lot of different places. They're pretty cool how they work. They got like this kind of smooth system that goes up, and so the packs kind of remain protected through the whole thing when they deliver them down to you. Are card vending machines the next frontier for hobby accessibility, or is this not really that big of a deal. Doug, I'm going to start with you.
I would say no. One, because these have been around for a few years now. The house I used to live in Atlanta, there was one at the grocery store next to my house.
There's one by mine.
Yeah, and I did buy a product from it. It's pretty expensive. It's pretty overpriced. But the reason I say that is this isn't a necessary thing. We don't need to have like retail wax that available to us, especially at these markups. We have so many different ways to buy cards 24 hours a day that this isn't going to be some sort of groundbreaking thing, in my opinion. I do appreciate it from like the impulse buy perspective, because that's kind of how I operate at times. That's why I've bought these overpriced, sealed wax blasters from a grocery store. I wouldn't do it at an airport because I can't protect those cards. Maybe I'm gonna have to start traveling with top loaders and penny sleeves in my carry-on at all times, just in case I come across one. But that kind of speaks to me. I am an impulse buyer, and if I see cards where I'm not supposed to see cards, for some reason that triggers me, and I'm going to want to go buy them. So I can appreciate it from that standpoint, but at the same time, if I want cards, I've got like 800 apps on my phone I can just pull up and buy cards whenever I want them.
Okay, fair enough. What do you think, Teapot? Are you going to impulse buy from these things?
I mean, I've seen them. They're at the Kroger by my house, the Pokemon packs, and they seemed priced accordingly, but then they started causing fights when all the Pokemon stuff went crazy in the last year. I could see this getting me for an impulse buy, absolutely, especially if my kids are with me. I recently spent like an hour smelling perfumes and colognes while waiting for a layover, to connect. So I'd rather maybe rip some packs and see about that. Maybe if there was like a button you could hit that's like, I got a big hit it, and it spits out a mag or something.
There you go.
That you can put it in. But I would only do it if I knew like I wasn't getting absolutely crushed in the first place on the price of the box. You're already taking a gamble to rip the sealed product. The other half of this is we've seen the vending machines that actually spit out the graded cards, like not packs, but graded cards.
That would definitely get me.
Those are also enticing, but have also like been proven. The one that got set up like with illicit PSA branding on it in Las Vegas, but didn't have anything to do with PSA. People were just getting crushed left and right, and they were putting like. They put like $100 in and get like a $15 card out of it, like very regularly. There was one person on like an X who put like $2,000 into one of those machines just to see if they could get a good card, and they didn't. And so I would say like be careful with those for sure. Like without the boxes, but the actual cards, that could just be somebody like totally extorting you in an environment where they're taking advantage of that.
Yeah,
so
no stated odds, no
be really
transparency,
careful, but
any of that stuff.
To Doug's point, I might just rather pull up my phone and buy stuff from cardshq.com or rip a slab pack and go from there.
Yeah. I think product getting out into the public, especially in high traffic areas, I think it's great. It's people see more of it, right? Whether they are buying it or not, it's just more exposure for cards. People are walking by. Beginning to feel a little bit like the 1980s again, when you could go into any 7-Eleven store or any, drugstore anywhere, and there were packs of cards by the checkout, in the aisles, all that kind of the cards were more ubiquitous back then.
They were.
And it feels like we're kind of moving in that direction now, that you're going to see cards in vending machines in airports and all that kind of stuff. So I kind of hope we get there again. Just not with a whole junk wax thing,
Yeah.
All right, guys, last story today. We are now officially less than 2 weeks away from the start of this year's National, and we are doing it bigger than ever before at Sports Card Investor. In fact, our booth is more than 3 times larger than what we had last year. We've got a huge setup in the corporate area. It's going to incorporate, of course, studio space for Sports Card Investor. We're going to be filming a bunch of shows there, doing trades with people. Market Movers has a big area there. And then, of course, we have our Card Kids Trade Zone. So if anybody out there listening is bringing their kids to the National, or if you are a kid, please come to the Card Kids Trade Zone as part of the Sports Card Investor booth. That's going to be a lot of fun. Stand-up displays is going to be part of our booth. And then Cards HQ has 2 separate booths, one just for buying and selling, and then a second one for breaking and live selling. It's a big setup. And by the way, if you aren't making it to the National, do not fret. We are going to be putting out 9 videos from the National during the National on this Sports Card Investor channel. So make sure to tune in, and you're going to see the best video coverage of it anywhere. But my question to you guys, for those out there who might be going to the National this year, what is the biggest mistake that people make at the National that you think the audience should hopefully be smart enough to avoid making? Teapot, I'll start with you.
I'll give you some, and these are all mistakes that I've made. The first one is probably just not bringing enough cash. Like, don't outspend your budget. Like, don't, I'm not saying that, but like, bring cash. Whatever your budget is, bring cash. That covers that. Don't expect that everybody's going to accept Venmo or whatever. It's more, ubiquitous than ever that people accept digital forms of payment, but not everybody does. And sometimes just having cash can also help get the deal done for you. So that's a big one. Wear comfortable shoes, and make sure you have some snacks. Speaking of which, our Market Movers booth at the show will actually have a little Market Movers members only lounge with a sofa and some seating.
Nice.
Phone charging stations, some refreshments. So Market Movers members can come take a load off for a few minutes if they want to do that.
That's a good enough reason to sign up right there.
It is. That could be worth the $10
Right.
and the discounts that we run. So, spending all your money at the first table, it's happened to me at shows before where I walk up and then I'm like, shoot. It can go both ways. Like I didn't, sometimes it's like it's the card you were looking for. If you come in with a short list and it's there staring at you in the face, okay, like go for it. But that's probably going to impact like how much fun you have at that point, like at the show. This is kind of a funny one and a self-deprecating one, but I do this at every show. Just getting turned around and not realizing that I'm looking at the table I just looked at 5 minutes ago. Like I'll be like, oh, here's some more cards that I do or don't like, and then I'll look up and be like, I was just here, I turned the wrong way. And then just not looking up at the dealers when you come to the booth and like be friendly. At Culture Collision this year, I walked up and was looking at stuff for like 5 minutes before I realized Joe Davis was standing right in front of me. Like I was like, oh, Joe, what's up? I didn't even know I was here. So, be friendly, have those interactions, just make a point. Not every dealer is going to do that or reciprocate. A lot of them just, sitting there on their phone like this while you come up, but at least kind of try to like build a little rapport when you come up to the table.
All good advice. Doug, you want to toss anything more onto the mix?
Yeah, so my piece of advice is the exact opposite of how I experience the National. So my piece of advice would be the people are just as important as the cards. When you go to the National, this is where I get to interact with all of the people that are normally online only interactions for me. All my friends from Discord groups, from Twitter, from Instagram. This is where I get to see most of them face to face and have actual real, human interaction. And I can get cards anywhere. I just mentioned a couple segments ago. I have access to cards 24/7 at my fingertips whenever I want them. I go to various other card shows. I've got Cards HQ. I work at a card shop. I've got cards everywhere. But to have these actual human interactions, to see these people that I only get to see once a year and only talk to online, this is that one experience for that. So I want to take advantage of that, which is contradictory to how I actually experience the National, because all I do is talk to people at the National.
Right.
I actually don't even see the cards. I know I'm a broken record. If people watch a lot of our episodes, I say that a lot. When I go to card shows, I don't ever look at cards. I'm there to, meet business partners, learn about new brands, and have interactions. For me, my personal mistake is not looking at cards. I need to spend more time actually appreciating the National for what it is and seeing what it has to offer. And then the other thing I would say is, you kind of hinted at it, is be targeted about what you're there for. If you have specific cards you want to chase, make a list of cards and don't get distracted by, oh, that's a cool card, let me just buy that. You'll be out of money before you ever get to your list. Make sure you try to address, the real reason you want to go there, the real cards you want to chase first before you get distracted and just start buying, all the random stuff.
Sometimes
do that at the end.
Dealers also have stuff that's not out.
Yeah.
If they ask you, or is there anything you're looking for, and there is, like just mention, oh, it could be something I'm looking for Corey Seager cards or whatever, and it's like, that might not be the hottest thing on the block that they're wanting to put out, but they've got some in their briefcase. But I mean, you could always just buy cards at the airport instead of going looking
That's
at cards
right.
at
That's
the
the
show.
move.
There you go. These are all a lot of good advice there, gentlemen. I'll say don't skip the evening events. It's a mistake to skip the evening events. The trade nights at the National, some of the best trade nights you'll experience anywhere. And then also this year, the SoCo Expo, it's a soccer-specific card show that is taking place a little ways away from the National. It's taking place in the evenings after the National ends, the Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night. It's going to be a massive card show this year. They have this huge number of dealers coming. It's 100% soccer cards. Events like that. There's also, by the way, an F1 trade night on the Friday night that I've been told about. So you get these evening events, this SoCo Expo, the F1 trade night, the trade nights at the convention center. Don't miss them. So, don't get so tired during the day that you can't do that stuff.
The trade night thing, the cool thing about trade nights is also that if you like stuff that's not as, like, let's say mainstream, you find it more at trade nights.
Yes.
Like there's odds that people have it in their Zion cases or with them just for more obscure collector stuff, as opposed to, like, again, the dealers
The dealer's going to put out the liquid stuff.
The dealer's
out.
putting out the liquid stuff. and a lot of high-end stuff too at the National. So that can be a little bit more niche at trade nights.
100%. I love it. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's show. Hope to see you at the National, or if not, watch our national coverage. But in the meantime, please give this video a like, please subscribe, and go get one of those Arena Club slab packs, promo code SCI20 for 20% off. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon with our next episode. Take care.